Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, TAMI Lynn Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey. Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome. I am here to have a little fun and talk about the energies right now for the first half of August. And I'm out here at the park in my town by the river. A park. This town has many little parks. But I'm getting a little sassy. What am I gonna do? I don't have a lot kind of planned other than to see what energies want to come in to support this time. Just enjoy this space. And I plan to read something from the book I'm working on, well, one of the many books I'm working on, Fairies of Lemonlock, but I realize I only have one device with me right now. I didn't bring my tablet, so I can't record on here and read from here at the same time. So anyway, I'm going to just hang with me. I've got my Olipop Strawberry Vanilla Sparkling Tonic with my Bee Hippie little thing here. And I was sitting at home and I was just like, I wasn't really bored. And it's a little windy, so we may get some wind in the microphone. I wasn't really bored. I don't know. I just wanted to do something different. These drinks are so good. And I went to take the dog out in the car, and then every time I'm driving with her lately around my town, I get inspired. This to me is like the perfect summer day. It's just a tiny bit more sun, but it's only 71 degrees. I even have a sweater because it's a little chilly. It's cloudy, like it wants to rain, but I don't think so. So I'm going to enjoy this because I think in a couple of days it's going to be hot again. I think in this town I've never had this is my first seasons in this town, in this state. So the summer has been very mild, and I'm thinking their Indian summer is probably in August. So back in South Texas, our Indian summer, like where you had that last bit of summer, was in September and early October. But I'm way north now by the Canadian border, and I think their Indian summer here is probably going to be August and early September. And as I was driving around today in this on the way over here, I said it's a very coiffed town because they keep saying it's small. It's very small. I would say it's probably only maybe 5 or 6 miles in diameter. Is that diameters all the way across? Is that right? Yeah, it's probably about 5 or 6 miles in diameter. But what they make up for inside, what they lack in the bigness of it, there's like tons of parks. There's like 4 or 5 that I've seen, little free libraries. It would be the perfect spot, except for, do I keep harping on this? Except for the bad grocery store. The grocery store's not good. And the winters, which I've heard, everyone just keeps telling me about. I did not come. I moved here at the end of March. The winter was almost over, except it snowed until the beginning of, it snowed on and off, like lightly, probably until the beginning of May. And to me, their spring here didn't really start until like mid-May. Mid to late May is when I finally saw leaves coming out on the trees. So I guess I have them a little bit of a culture shock. But look at this picturesque scene behind me. And it's so peaceful here. And whenever you go somewhere, it's very quiet. So there was like little Wednesday nights in the summertime, they have like little street get-togethers or whatever. They block off part of downtown, and they have like little, I haven't been down there, but I hear music, and they have like, I have live music and little tents and stuff. And I told my neighbor, like, I drove by and I was expecting huge crowds and I saw like 10 people, and my neighbor goes, that's a huge crowd for this town. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm used to like LA traffic and Austin, Texas crowds. So this is very weird to me. So it would be perfect except for, so you know, like when you're manifesting, if you ever hear like Esther and Abraham Hicks talk, so they always say like, was it Discord or whatever? Like when you know what you don't want, then you know what you do want. So it's like, well, this town is perfect except for the fact that winter is, I don't know how many months out of the year, and everybody that lives here keeps telling me like, just wait till it's -40. Apparently it was -40 last year, and I don't know how many jillions of inches of snow. And I'm like, okay, know what I don't want. So as I was pondering all these things at home, let's bench this up a little bit more so my head's not cut off. I decided to come out because I channeled a chapter of the book Fairies of Lemonlock, and there is a chapter. So now I'm going into the energies of right now, and I brought 3 decks of cards, which I'll get into in a minute. And I do have a little tiny bit of car traffic, so there's like a roundabout right in front of me for the park, and cars go by like right here. Please don't kick up any dust. I'm right here. Anyway, so the chapters I channeled in from Fairies of Lemonlock, the chapter was about Jenna in Tessa Lock being at home. So she's part of the spirit guides at Tessa Lock. But she was at home, and she gets a knock on the door, and a 2-foot tall parakeet, Mrs. Picklewickle, comes and tells her that there's this big message coming. But she won't tell her what it is. She's like, I'm just a harbinger of this great and exciting message, like a good thing, not a bad thing, because she wasn't like a harbinger of sorrow or whatever. She was like a happy little yellow parakeet. And I saw, it's just off 654 on the counter when I said that, so it's like a countdown to whatever this impending, it's gonna be different, like for anybody that listens to this, like what's coming, what's this, what are these energies bringing? So what are the energies right now? Today is the Leo new moon. Jupiter just went my friend Jupiter just went retrograde, which I don't know if I'm happy about or not. Well, I saw a reading today about it. Dee at Consciousness Evolution Journey did a reading about it, and I was like, I don't know if I really like this Jupiter message, except for it's in retrograde from now until the end of December, and apparently when it comes out of retrograde and we do all this healing between now and then we get our 10 of Cups moment or whatever. So I'm just saying that it's gonna be good. But it's supposedly taking us back into Pisces. Jupiter's going back into Pisces from Aries, and we're going to do all this like 12th house last minute cleanup type stuff, and then it's going to move back into Aries at the end of December. So that's an energy. And then the other big energy that's happening today, and it's been happening, I don't know enough about astrology to explain the differences, but there is the Uranus conjunct in Uranus and Taurus conjunct the North Node, which is some energy that hasn't happened in a long time. Depending on which astrologer you listen to, I've heard like 84 years, I've heard since the time of Plato or whatever. So apparently it's like this once in a lifetime type energy that doesn't come along very often. But when it does, it causes big life-changing, like second chances type energy, like starting over energy in your life, but not little tiny things, like big things shifting, wishes granted, and big major things fulfilled. And if you're like me, my North Node is in Taurus, pretty much right at the degree point, or right around the degree point of this conjunction, and the same thing with my South Node in Scorpio. And so I'm double aspected here with these energies because it's a collective energy for everybody, but then for personally, it's hitting my same exact degree points in my own chart, in my own natal chart. So it's like double the blessings. Maybe that's why I've been seeing double rainbows when I've been doing card draws over on Loveland Tarot. So it's some big message that's coming. And then we also have the Lionsgate portal, which is open. The portal itself, the energies of the portal are already surrounding us between now and 8/8. And then this full moon that happens right after that, I forgot which sign it's in. Is it Scorpio? It's a big full moon. You really need to try these. That's kind of when the energies all start to taper off. The full moon is another big thing, and then after that, it kind of wanes down. So if anything big, like Mrs. Pickle Wickle, the 2-foot tall parakeet, is talking about is going to happen, it's going to happen between now and this full moon towards the was it the second week of August? Because that's when the energies are really ramped up. I mean, there's so many different things supporting it. And there's some lesser happening. I call them lesser, but there's like Chiron is in retrograde or something. So there's some lesser things happening in the astrology too. But I think the really big ones are these portals and things that are happening right now. So Mrs. Pickle Wickle comes and says there's this big message coming to Jenna. And Jenna Lee's like, oh great, what is it? And she starts like wanting to know what it is. She can't figure it out. She has a reading. She has a friend who's part of the Spectre and Book Coven over in Rockaway Point, which is Abigail Smiles' coven. And so Rebecca of Spectre and Book does a tarot reading for Jenna and doesn't really tell her anything more either, other than yes, there's a big something big is coming. And then this last chapter that I channeled in was called something like time is not what's important, or something about time, and basically told Jenna, like, you don't need any more tarot readings to confirm this. You just need to forget about time for a little bit. So we know you're anxious or whatever about what's going to happen. You're all excited, and it shouldn't really be a surprise. Like, it should be something really big, some wish granted that you've been manifesting. It shouldn't be a surprise to you, like, oh my God, what's coming? Like, is death not, la death, is it knocking at my door? It's not. It's something you've been manifesting. So pretty much the advice was, Jenna, go put on your fairy boots and go get outside and go walk in the deep pine woods and go get out of your head a little bit. And so, with that being said, since it's my manifestation too, I was like, I've got to get out of my house and go do something. And then the weather looked perfect, and I've been wanting to do this show before August. And so here we are with all of these energies around us. And the last show I did, and now there's a very loud, annoying noise. I don't know what that is. But somebody in like a boat or something. There's like a boat landing over there. But this is not a very deep river. It looks very murky. I never see anybody swimming in it here anyway. I see people like, what is that? Like paddle boating? What are those boats? Kayaks? So anyway, I'm going to pull out the cards here in just a second. I just want to see if there's anything more. I never wrapped us in love, light, and light love, and invited in the spirit guides who overlight this show, because they go with me now wherever I go. But I do want you all to feel like you're in safe, sacred space, that you're guarded and protected at all times, that your guides are always with you no matter what. And guides are here to support us. We've got Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the fairies of Lemonlock. It's very crowded here today. Well, there's 10 people here. It's very crowded. There are like 10 cars for a weekday. So I think kids are still on summer break, I guess. I don't know when that ends in this town. Probably very soon, so they can get to school before all the hordes of snow start coming. Oh my God, this drink is so good. Strawberry and vanilla. All right, let me just sit here. The Canadian, okay. So the Canadian geese are here So if that speaks to you, if anyone's looking for soulmates, if everyone's conjuring a soulmate, Canadian geese, when I looked them up, are a big spirit totem for soulmate energy. I did not know they like mate for life or whatever. So I've got tons. Oh, the kids are chasing them. That's why. Oh, you stupid kids. Sorry. Oh my God. What are they doing? And they're like smacking at them with bats and stuff. Oh my gosh. I gotta make a mental note that I have to teach my kid to respect nature and all beings, which is really not what's happening here. Okay, I can't get sidetracked. Anyway, I know I did say that, right? All right, sorry. It was all boys. Okay, anything else? Oh, and then the other thing that happened was this town is like in the middle of landlocked, right? And so there's seagulls here. What with all the cars? There's seagulls here, and like a seagull flew over my car earlier and let like a big old poop out. And I was like, isn't that supposed to be a thing of good luck? Like when it's a certain type of bird, I think, if it goes to the bathroom on your car, on you, it didn't go on me, but I don't know, maybe I'm digressing too much. All right, let's get out the gill. Tarot. All right, kids, don't disrupt my peace. Take those kids over there out of the way. Thank you. I want to see if there's anything else. I was about to yell over there, like, leave those birds alone, but I thought, well, their parents are probably going to be all, don't tell my kid what to do. Oh, I got to snap it back together because it's windy. Okay, so the first card out, I should have brought a little rock, is the Six of Swords with change. And this card has come up before. It's like a big flower. It's not a typical Six of Swords, right? Because isn't the Six of Swords typically like you're leaving on a boat? Leaving on a jet plane. But this one is it's very like solar plexus and sacral chakra to me. But apparently harbinger of change. Mrs. Pickle Wickle, the parakeet, the seagull poop. What else could there be? The tarot readings that keep talking about things changing. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Oh. I'm going to take that too. So on the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Swords with uncertainty. This is just what I was talking about. Look, it's a 6 and a 7. And that's all green, like the heart chakra. Is it with these glasses? Yeah, it's green. And this typically Seven of Swords is more about deceptiveness or, I don't know, stealing away the night. But this one says uncertainty, like, do you really believe that your thing is going to happen? Because the other card that was with it was the Three of Pentacles. And this particular card is gain. And there are actual gold doubloons. And the lady in the number 3 has a crown and some nice pretty jewelry and a very coiffed hairstyle. So it's a positive change. For me, the Three of Pentacles is typically about like co-creating with my guides or co-creating with the universe. I don't know. Let's see what goes with these cards. Let's slip these back in here and let's get out. Oh, you guys. So Lunasa is also part of this energy. Did I say that already? So if you follow the pagan wheel of the year, I don't know if it's really pagan wheel. Is it called pagan wheel of the year? If you follow that, then Luna says the first harvest on August the 1st, which is this coming Monday. So this is supposedly the energetic time frame when you are, if you were an agricultural nation, way back in the day when they created this Wheel of the Year, then you were starting to notice the bounty of harvest starting to roll in with first harvest. And this is the one where the wheat and stuff apparently is ready and all that. And you're noticing like, wow, there's this bounty of wheat and stuff to harvest, because you've got 2 more harvests after that before it's like too late to harvest anything else because it's dead on the vine. So, all right, little bug, get off. So in homage to the autumn season, the fall season, I pulled out dun, da, 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 Bubble Bubble in homage to fall, and Shaman's Strum. We have not worked with it. These are both my decks. If you ever like any of my decks, quick plug, they're all available exclusively at the Game Crafter. And I know if you're listening to this, you can't necessarily see the cards, but Bubble Bubble and Shaman's Drum, and I do cards for you guys anyway, because I feel like if you're listening to a podcast, you are that type of person where you kind of listen with your master senses anyway, and you're able to easily visualize or see. Like when I listen to an audiobook or something, I like to close my eyes and envision what's happening. I sense and feel that that's kind of what you guys do. You know, when you're listening to me, like I do my best to describe the cards, and you might be seeing them in your mind's eye. So let's get a little bubble action going on here. On top of the 6 of Swords and the 7 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles, let's see if there's anything that Bubble wants to share about this. We got, make your home a sacred sanctuary. I feel like they're going to give us advice for like what to do while you're waiting. No, there's something in the energies right now too about, is it the Chiron thing? There's one of these planets that, or something, current energies that's big on like having you clean up around yourself, around your home and all that. I don't know which one it is, but I know that that energy is prevalent. It's almost like a fall cleaning kind of a thing. And while you need to take your mind off your manifestations, you can be creating a new meditation space, or I don't know. What would I do? Actually, this morning I was quite terse with just energy in general, and I was like, dang it, frustration started to come up. Oh, I did a big healing with Master Co. So I sit in meditation with Master Co every day, and we did a prosperity healing. But for the past couple of days, so these types of meditations, I'm not saying go listen to Master Co, but the type of meditation that he does, I'm just saying, has been a life changer for me. And so today, so it's in the meditation, because it's a meditation that's a balance of giving and receiving, number one. It's not all just about me meditating for my own personal gain. So we do meditation Twin Hearts, or the Great Invocation typically. And it's because, and we do the same ones every day with different variations here and there. He's the master, not me. He knows what he's doing. He's got the special songs that he does. He does different things energetically. During the meditation, I typically, depending on what type it is, I have like big clearings. The guides will come in. And today, during the prosperity healing, which he brings in energy to clear all your chakras out and works with the ones where you have the biggest blocks around prosperity. But today the guides came in as I was meditating, because we bless the earth, we bless all sentient beings. There's a whole process we go through, and then we sit and receive the energies for ourselves, and we sit in silent, like awareness meditation. And the guides came in and did something with, they told me they installed a new prosperity grid. So for the past couple of days of meditation, I felt like things leave. So we always create a violet fire. We have a bucket of salt water. And when we meditate, if the guides are clearing, I just feel stuff like slip all the way down the chakras out my feet. And so yesterday and today, the same thing. And then all of a sudden I saw this grid come in. It looked very geometric. It had specific colors in it, like orange and dark green and yellows. And then it looked like a template, and they just kind of like plug and played it into my field. And I heard them, it was very deep in meditation. I heard them say, it's a new template, like a template upgrade for prosperity and abundance. And I was like, all right, take it. So make your home into a sacred sanctuary could also be what I was just talking about. It doesn't have to be your physical home. It could be your vehicle, your auric field, your own space, doing clearing on yourself. Because the grid that was installed looked very much like all of these kind of colors. All right, what's on the bottom of this? Oh, look. Keep a watchful eye out. Discernment. What could that be about? What do we need to be discerning about? Let's see what the other card is underneath it. Bonfire. You are the creator of your reality. I think it's just saying like, okay, pull these 3 cards off the bottom. I think what it's just saying is your manifestation or whatever it is, this message, this big yellow parakeet was delivering, this 2-foot tall parakeet. Like it's coming, but like be watchful for it, because who knows how it's coming. Is it a phone call, an email, a text? I don't know, but it's a choice point coming up. And it's a chance for a new opportunity. And so you don't want to miss the chance to walk through a new door, because that's when you jump on a whole accelerated and higher timeline. So keep a watchful eye out. It's coming. Ding, the win. And in the meantime, this card is all about being playful. Bonfire is all about a group gathered around a fire circle telling like ghost stories. And Cheryl, she wasn't scared because she knew they were just stories. However, over in the bushes, or over in the tall grass, there was a ghost, a vampire, and a gnome who were listening and watching the group and kind of laughing and giggling at the sound of the stories being told. So it's like, go out and have fun, hang out. Your guides are all around you. And if there's any other messages you discern from these cards, oh, here come those kids again with the geese. All right. Let me take my kids out and let them have some steam by chasing animals around with bats. You are the creator of your reality. Okay, so I'm going to choose to ignore them because I have no control over what they're doing. And I'm going to keep focusing on having fun here with this. All right, let me go to Shaman's Drum, because right now they're a big trigger for me. I don't know why, but they're really bothering me. It's not what, it's just, I don't know. It's just something about it. It's something about the energy right now. It's again, it's me. It's patient. Patience is not my virtue. So I have no control over that situation, but if it was my kid, I would definitely be over there like getting their butt away from whatever they're doing. And so I don't, right? I can't, because they're not my kids. So I just have to be patient and either get them out of my reality or have them leave or something. So again, be patient with the things you can't control. What is that thing? Like the wisdom to know the difference? See, they just like, they're throwing rocks. Oh my God, it's killing me. Okay. Keep going. Shaman's Drum. I don't know, maybe this is going to be coming up for you guys in some way. But I'm telling you, like, I lead these things, and you know, I'm not perfect. I've got my own shit to work on. And there's still stuff that triggers me, you know, and I meditate every day, and I do a lot of energy work, and I'm very tuned in and plugged in and turned on. But I'm not perfect, because if I was perfect, I wouldn't be here on this planet. I would be gone, because this planet is very, very challenging. And I'm telling you that I will not be coming back here next incarnation. I might come back later on, but next incarnation, I need a break from Gaia. All right. The next card we got is TP. It is safe here. Come inside and rest a while. So it's just a time, I think over this next 2 weeks, while these energies are really ramped up, I think people are feeling them in different ways, because some of you have commented to me like, oh my gosh, it feels really hectic and crazy. And I think I think it goes back to you're creating your own reality right now, watch out. Yes, and this was on the bottom of this deck too, because this is the real me, people. You know, actually, TLC for the soul, this channel is the real me. I don't really sugarcoat myself. I don't wear too many masks. I tell it like it is. And, you know, I'm not, what you see here is me. This is who I am. This is who I am when the camera stops rolling. I'm nobody different than who I'm being with you right now. So if you're ever wondering, like, you know, oh my gosh, if you're wondering who is this person, because there's so many, I don't want to get in like who does what, but you know, so many people are, and did I ever do, I don't know, maybe I did that before too. Like there's so many masks people wear, right? Where you wonder, like, is this the real person? Who's the real person behind the mask? Who's the real person behind the mask? This is who I am. I'm not, there's pretty much zero sugarcoating going on here. And, you know, you have to flow with the energy too, right? So there's days when I'm like 100% zen, and I have super strong boundaries. I've worked really hard on my boundaries and nothing gets to me. And then there's other days like today where the energy's a little wonky because we've got a lot of things at play today with the new moon. It's a Leo new moon. There's a lot of fire going on. I'm an Aries moon, which means I can, and I used to like irritate very, very easily. And still sometimes I'm not perfect. Still sometimes I do. Like the dog bothers me or whatever. And I will, you know, I'll get irritated at her, or like I'm really still irritated at those kids. However, I recognize that. And so I just created like a emotional, it's not really a thought form, an emotional bubble, an emotional cloud of irritation in my auric field. Okay, so here's where the self-mastery comes in. The self-mastery is not that you're perfectly coiffed 24/7. The self-mastery is that, okay, I realize I'm irritated by that situation. I realize I have the wisdom to know I can't control it. But at the same time, I also know that I just created like an irritation kind of pollution thought cloud, energy cloud in my auric field, and I don't want it sitting in there. So in the essence of time, here's what you can do when you know that that's happening. Two ways, actually, because everybody likes to do things differently. You can, number one, you can call on your guides to come in every single time, but honestly, you're doing your own self a disservice if you don't learn how to do these things yourself and clear your own energy, and not always use your guides as a fallback. Because number one, it's pretty much your job to do it. It's your own freaking trash. You ought to learn how to clean it up. The guides are here to help. And in the beginning, I think it is like you just don't know what you're doing. You fall back on your guides. And I've done that before too. And then there was a point where I was like, I want to do this myself, and get really good at it. And so no judgment, like whatever boat you fall in, that's where you're at. And so if you want to call in your guides right now, I'd be like, okay, please come and take this energetic trash away, right? Because I created it and I don't want it anymore. And I realize, you know, that's not going to help me because everything's energy, and that was irritation. It's going to sit there. And now chances are I've done so much work, my vibe is pretty high, that like Master Co says, big fish eat small fish, and maybe all of the positive light-filled stuff in my aura would chomp up that little irritation bubble, but I'm not gonna get lazy on that one. So I know it's there. So the other thing you can do is use your hand, has to be your right hand, and you can either see it as a violet fire. I just say like violet fire hand. If I tell something to happen, it's going to happen. So like if I say violet fire hand, then my hand is a violet fire hand. Or you can create a violet fire and you can just like bring that irritation energy into your, that, just see it as a dark cloud or whatever, and then just go through it with your violet fire hand and say disintegrate, 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 delete, cut, 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 disintegrate. And then I send it off into a violet fire for transmutation. And then I want to fill it back up with good stuff to replace that. So let me see if there's any more. Yeah, this is what was at the bottom, tribe. The spirit of oneness and togetherness and love holds us together. So ultimately, like, what's humanity going to be if we're constantly like at each other's throats? So we are all one. And so I think right now, in addition to that energy clearing, I'll just, those kids are still back there. Are they in my, oh, they're in my thing. We'll just send them some love and golden light and blessings. Because they don't really know what they're doing. They're probably just mimicking something they saw somebody else do, or something their parents told them to do, or whatever. Just send them a little, I'm sending it like this way. Send them a little good vibes and blessings. It makes me feel better too. Then I'm not so like upset with. Just send them some gold light and just take a deep breath into my heart space and send them some pink light and just pray for them. Do love healing, send a little good vibes their way. Because I can hear what they're saying too, and it's like they don't have very good, Spirit's saying they don't have very good parental influences, so I have to like pray that they're going to be blessed with some good direction in their life. And I have to be thankful that I feel like I am at least trying to be a positive influence in my own child's life. All right, let me see if there's anything else going on here. So lots and lots happening. As you can see, in 36 minutes, we've covered a lot of different things. And I hope you've had a beautiful, relaxing time by the river with me, and that you may have learned some self-mastery lessons by enjoying this little situation that played out for our benefit. And now I'm going to finish drinking my Olipop and just enjoy the water for a few minutes before I head back home and try to make some rosemary soap and do some little witchy, I like to witchy stuff. There's someone that watches my channel that's a outlier, so to speak, and they like to say, "Oh, you're just a witch," and I'm like, "I know I am." So for their benefit, if they're watching, they usually only tune in for the first few minutes or so, and then it's too much for them, they leave. But you know, if you stayed for this whole 37 minutes, hopefully you learned something, and I'm gonna go home and do some witchy stuff now. All right, I'm being a bad girl today too. There's that coming in too with the Leo energy. There's a little bit of like sass coming out. My guides, what? Stop that. Okay, the fairies are being a little to get the Beltane fire going. All right, you guys, it's 38 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye now. We'll see you all again soon. Take care.
Thank you all so much for listening to today's podcast. It has been brought to you by the Ancestral Witch Mage community.